Hello everybody, my name is Little Rubiru, and today I'll be bringing you a special tutorial on how to use Tvpaint. This will mainly be a broad explanation on how the program works. It doesn't go into the specifics, but I'll show you how I use the program to make my animations for my channel. Tvpaint is a pretty easy program to learn. I have trouble myself with trying to understand new programs, and if I understand Tvpaint, I promise you can get it too. So we can start by opening a new file. You can either use a preset or just put in your own details to however you prefer. When I animate, I usually animate on doubles, but I still choose 24 frames a second. The reason for this is that if I do need a frame to go faster, I can still do that while just extending the other frames to still make it doubles. Now, while you are in your project, you can still change up the frame rate, but I would advise against this if you are using audio. Audio tracks can be uploaded in Tvpaint so you can time animation to the sound, but if you mess with the frame rate after the file has been created, it will seriously mess with your audio. You have your tools here on the main panel. These are mainly the tools I use. The pen brush and the eraser. I do like to keep my eraser sharp, however, so I'll be deleting these to make it a sharp circle. Now in your tools, you'll also have the option to change to make this not have pressure, have it be constant. However, everyone likes a pen brush with pressure, probably if you're working on a Cintiq or any other tablet. And the power, it just makes it more transparent. Your color wheel, it's really quite simple. Now what I really like about Tvpaint is that it's actually not that different from using paper, as in traditional paper animation where you use a peg bar and you just draw picture after picture after picture. We can start here with our first picture. Let's draw a ball dropping. So we'll draw a circle here. And then we want to go to the next frame. Now if you want to go to the next frame, you can just go here. Also, here you'll see a little arrow. You can choose here whether you want nothing to happen after your frame, whether you want it to loop, whether you want it to ping pong, or whether you want it to hold. Well, for now we'll choose none because we're actually animating. You see this little light bulb? If you press this, it will show your light table. You have to press this little thing underneath here. Now it will show me what I drew on the frame before. This is the best thing, really, because now you can easily decide, okay, well this was my first frame. Now the second frame will have the ball drop. So let it go down. I'm gonna squash it a bit, stretch it a bit, and that will be my second frame. Extend this one again because we're doing 12 frames a second, even though it's on 24. And we'll go to the next frame. Now it will show me the frame I drew first, the second frame I drew, and I can change this if I want. If I don't want to see the first frame, I can choose this little light bulb over here, and the light bulb shows me the light table. And now I can be like, okay, well, instead of showing me 5 frames on each side, just show me the one. So now I only get to see one before it. So let's say the ball hit the ground. If I go to the one before it, it will just show me the first and the one after it. But since it's better to see more, we'll just keep this on 4. It's easier that way. Alright, I can see that this is not really aligning well. So what I can do is I can grab this tool over here, the little square with the arrows, and if I press it, I can just move it over the screen. Just move it around. So let's try and align it a little better. Alright. This, also if you keep this, you can also transform, change perspective. These are also nice tools. So I can make it bigger, smaller. You can do that. Right, so next frame, we'll have the ball go up again. Go a little lower. And then we're gonna go and then it will slow down a little, so just a little bit further up. And then it's a very messy first animation. This is just really quick, but this is how you can animate in Tvpaint. You have your timeline down here. You can have your play, stop. You can also just hit enter and stop with enter if you use short keys a lot. You can also change all your short keys, of course, to whatever you have preferred. So this in itself is the easiest way for animation. Like right now, it's already looping anyway because it gets to the end. But let's say this is an animation that's constantly playing in the background, and we have a little character here. And this one has to go for a lot more seconds. So now if we play it, it would be stopping the moment the layer stopped, and you'll still see this character in the background. But let's say this one has to play the entire time. So we can click this and we can say loop. So now if we say loop, it will play the entire time. Same for ping pong. Instead of, what ping pong does is it will go up and then down. In this case, it wouldn't matter that much because I think, it's acting a little bit. I never really used the ping pong version, ping pong option, but it's there. You can use it, and then you have hold, and hold will just take the very last frame and hold it until the end of the animation. So that's for these four options. I usually just use none, or I use hold. Now, another thing that's really nice about Tvpaint is it's very easy to color with. And I'll show you how. So let's say we want to color the little balls that are animating. Just grab the bucket tool, and we'll just grab color. And now here you can see, here you have your options. So since we have this layer underneath our original layer with the ball animation in it, just rename this to ball. We choose, in our source, we choose above. You can choose between layer, above, under, or display. Display would work too, but above means that you're gonna color whatever is in the layer above that layer. Same for whatever the layer is underneath, if you choose underneath. Display is, it will try to keep everything that is on the screen in account. And layer is obviously just the layer. So now we can just pick this ball and it's colored. Let's turn this off for a moment. Another nice thing is that you can change the gap closure. So let's say you're not the smoothest with your line art, or you don't close every single little gap. You can say, okay, well, ignore 1 pixel, or ignore 2 pixels, or ignore 3, 4, 5. It will start to look a little bit weirder the more you choose. Well, in this case, it's a simple circle, so it doesn't really matter that much. You usually have this on 0, and then you can also choose expand. And expand will mean that it will go further. I usually have this as 1, but you can also say 6 as well. Now it will go over the lines underneath it. And you can see that it is coloring a little bit over there. Now let's go crazy and say 19. Now you can see that that's what it's doing. We don't want that, we're gonna go back to 1. So let's just quickly color the circles. Nope. Alright. So now the ball is colored. Now, if you want to shade it, that's pretty simple too. There's 2 ways of doing this. One way is you pick your shading color, and you can click on, you see where this little A is? If you click on the little circle that's underneath the A, it means, it's basically a mask, sort of. But it means that you will only color, let's grab this one, you will only color what is in that what's already in the layer. You'll never go over the colors that are in that specific layer. Now this is one way to do it, but the issue with this is that if I go to the next frame and I want to know exactly where my shading is, I'm not going to be able to see it, because if I click on the light table, it's just going to show me the entire color. It's not going to show me individual colors. So what you can do, instead of doing it this way, let's go back, you can make a new layer and you can completely mask it. So you just click on this little symbol over here, you click on the little circle there, and this means you've masked it. So now I'm in an individual layer. If I color here, it's going to do the exact same thing. I'm only going to color what's colored on this specific layer. But if I go to the next one and turn on the light table, it's going to show me exactly what I've shaded. There we go. Now there's other things you can do with the layers. I'm currently using the normal version of Tvpaint, which means that I can't really do anything with the multiply or add or value or behind. These are all things you can use if you do have the pro version. If you don't have the pro version, you can always just export the individual layers and then do something with it in a different program like Premiere. And what I usually do is, if this is too harsh, just going to make a little less harsh. So there we go. Now we have a circle that is bouncing. Next up, I want to show you guys the sped up process of me animating something different. This is for a future video. I am trying to keep it simple by only animating something with 4 frames. I wanted to keep it as straightforward as possible, and this process still took me around 3 hours. Animation is a very lengthy process. I also want to thank Tvpaint for sending me their product so I can share this video with you guys. If you want to check out their product, I will leave a link in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you all in the next video.